often should you text when you start dating? Let's get into this. I like this topic. Let's hop into it, man. Let's see here. This article comes from the New York Post, entitled, of course, exactly that. How often should you text when starting to date? We're addicted to the blue bubbles. Of course, if you know, those blue bubbles are referring to us iPhone users. Let's see what this article says. In today's digital dating world, single people's biggest romantic dilemma might not be who to date, but how often to text them. Ain't that something? Ain't that something, bro? I'll get into it. Let's get into this article. Ain't that something? All this, it's like, I have a feeling about this. I have some theories on this, man. From some Reddit threads and relationship coaches, the consensus is clear. Nobody knows what the rules are anymore. Turns out there's no one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to texting etiquette, but experts and a handful of battle-worn daters are shedding light on how to navigate the messaging minefield. Let's pause right there real quick, folks. If you just meet somebody, you get their number. Hey, man, let's exchange numbers. I'll reach out to you, whatever the case is. First, it's always like, all right, how soon? And I think I actually made this mistake before. It's so crazy. Look at where we are. So I'll share a story. But what do you guys think that is? You meet somebody, you get their number. How soon after you get their number do you reach out? Do you wait a little bit to not seem pressed? Do you hit them up immediately after? Do you call them? Do you text them? Such a game out here, man. It's a game. It's a game. All this cat and mouse. Don't get me wrong. I understand a little bit of cat and mouse. Nobody wants to seem too eager, right? So I see two theories. There's one theory that's like, nah, if I like you, I like you. Like, why should I, and I kind of agree that as well, too. If I like you, I'm going to text you. If I don't like you like that, a clear indication, like, I might not be texting you like that. So it's just like, there's some people that are anxious. Oh, I don't want to text them too much, or I don't want to double text. I know there's people out there that will refuse to double text, meaning if you text somebody once, they don't respond, you text them again, maybe text them another time. Some people refuse to do that. And it's just like, wait, what are the means? Why do I have to act as if I don't like you or hold back, my true feelings for you, whatever the case is, by these little antics? But people have their theories. Of course, people don't want to, I think in this younger generation, especially when it comes to dating, nobody wants to show their hand, their true emotions. I think that's another thing that's setting us back. Let's get back into this article. Let's see what else we got here. In the so-called talking stage of dating, that fuzzy limbo between matching and meeting, things are delicate, according to psychology professor Dr. Darcy N. Powell. There's less information shared, fewer physical acts of intimacy, and less commitment to the partner than when dating. It's a tricky balancing act, trying to protect oneself because you're unsure of what's going to happen, but people aren't good at breaking up with each other or being rejected. Exactly. Another generation as well, too, hates being rejected, 100%. 100%. I would argue maybe even women a little bit more. But nobody wants to look like the fool. That's what I'm noticing. Like, especially in this dating climate now, nobody wants to be the one that, got hurt first or maybe put too much emotion into it first. Like, there's a lack of vulnerability, healthy vulnerability, right? All this cat and mouse is a little bit, I don't know. It's a setback. Let me see here. The article goes on to say a Harvard study found that 94% of millennials admitted to having text-related anxiety. 94%. A Harvard study was ran. I don't know how big the testing pool was. It doesn't necessarily say, I don't believe. A Harvard study was ran, and 94% of millennials admitted to having text-related anxiety. I'll share a story. And it's like, I'm guilty. Like, this was a few years ago. And I have no shame in my game. But this is a testament to this. This is a reality. I am part of this millennial. I don't have anxiety when it comes to texting, but I'll share a story. I slid in a DM. This is like maybe, what is this, 2025? So this is like maybe like 2021, some years ago, like 2021, 2022. There was a female, of course, female counterpart that we've been following each other for some years, yada, yada, yada. I've been people that I don't really know her. Might have met her once in real life, like some years ago. But we've been following each other for some time, whatever the case is. So some years ago, I slid in the DM, talk, whatever the case is, got the number, right? And to be completely honest, 94% is high. So what happened? I got the number, and I did. I'm not gonna lie. I asked myself, okay, now I made it out the DM. I got the girl's number. How soon do I text her and initiate this conversation? Mind you, I don't really know her like that. Like, I know of her surface level. So it's just like, I waited. I waited a few days. Okay, and what it was, this is the context as well too. I think it was like midweek, so it's like I think it was like on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and I told myself like, you know, I don't really know her schedule, what are the cases, so I'll probably wait till the weekend, what are the cases. And something that happened where it's just like a day goes by, 2 days go by, and I still haven't texted, and like, no shame in my game, like. I caught it straight. Like, I saw her say something. And she might be, for all I know, she might be watching. I really don't know. She might be, because I think we still, whatever. And I caught her straight. She said something, I don't know I can't quote her. She said something that, like, spoke to the situation. Like, oh, why do dudes do that? Why do dudes, something. Like, I don't know. She said something along the lines of, why do men be pressed to get a girl's number, but something. But basically, I can't quote her, but she was basically saying, like, I took too long, basically. Or I know that I took too long. So from the time that I got her number into the time that I was planning on reaching out to her, I think maybe 72 hours had passed, maybe a day had went by, 2 days had went by, maybe 3 days went by. And then I saw the tweet that I'm pretty sure she was talking about me. And then I just never hit her. I never hit her. And then it's like, but some years later, like, I followed up with her like, yo, I explained it to her some years later. And the air is clear, we're cool now with the cases, or we're cordial. I don't know if we're cool, because again, I don't really know her what are the cases. But all that to say, yeah, like there is a little bit of psychology, I guess, and I don't know why we're like that, but there is a little bit of psychology. Me personally, I only rationalized that by saying, like, I was trying to just find, it was in the middle of the week, I don't really know her schedule, what are the cases. So my thinking was, if I got your number like around like I think it was it was earlier in the week, so like Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, what are the cases, I might just, I could have, right? Looking back, just saying, oh, that's a good time to hit you up, whatever the case is, daddy, whatever the case is. But I let too many days go by, whatever the case is. I think it was like maybe like no longer than 3 days, 4 days max. And that was a problem. I didn't know that. So back to this article, if 94% of millennials are admitting that they have text-related anxiety, and of course the title of this article was basically talking about who should text first. My thing is, are we interested or not? Is there a mutual attraction or not? Why do we gotta act so cool to like, oh, nah, I gotta be cool. I like her, or I like him, if ladies, whatever the case is, but I don't want to seem too pressed. So I can't text him just yet, or I can't ask, you know, what's good this weekend, whatever the case is. Like, why do we do that? I get it. Everybody likes a little bit of chase, a little bit of cat and mouse. I get it. Like, you know, and again, I don't even know why we're wired like that, but everybody likes a little bit of, okay, cool, you know, a little bit of work for it. Yeah, you gotta kind of work for it, fellas. I know that's how it kind of goes. Most women, of course, want you to kind of put a little bit of effort just so she knows that you actually care, whatever the case, you're not playing games. But when it comes down to the communication is basically what I'm saying. Why do we act like, oh, you know, I don't want to double text. I don't want to text him first. I can't. Like, do we like each other or not? I don't understand. And yeah, it was a long follow. And I think I asked you about this. I don't know if you remember, Mojo. I asked you like, yo, was I tripping on that? Did I wait too long? From the time that I got her number to the time that I was planning on hitting her up, 100%, I think 3 days it went by. 100%. 24, 48 hours, maybe 72 hours had already passed by, and I ain't hit her up. And then I saw she said something. And I was like, oh shit, I'm definitely not hitting you up. Why do we do this, yo? So I'm in this category, but I don't have text anxiety. I may not be part of this 94% of millennials who feel like that, but what's with this cat and mouse in our generation? And we wonder why people are lonely. And people are, you know, girls are saying men are not approaching me. There's so many different factors that are going into why people are remaining single. But things like this, down to texting, to the point where an article has been written on the New York Post calling this out. Again, the article is entitled, How Often Should You Text When Starting Dating? When you're starting to date. Now, me primarily, of course, I don't like texting. I'll say this. In the beginning, especially in the beginning stages when you're talking to somebody, man, I don't like texting because, again, you might misread my, you know, sense of humor. I don't like, especially if I don't know you. If I don't really know you like that and we're texting, I don't really like texting in the beginning. Maybe we, of course, maybe hang around each other for a little bit. Maybe we talk on the phone a little bit, just so there's no misunderstandings. Because if our means of communication is solely through text, you might misread my sense of humor through text. You might not know the tone or the cadence or my sense of humor or my sarcasm through a text message, and you might, you know, be offended or insulted, whatever the case is. So to be completely honest, like, I'm a texter once we have that rapport built. But if we're just starting to get to know each other, then let's get a few phone calls out the way, maybe a few link ups out the way as well too. So you understand, like, oh, when he texted this, I know his sense of humor. He's probably playing whatever the case is. So for me personally, like, I'm not a texter in the beginning. In the beginning, I'm not a texter. Let's get on the phone, have a solid conversation. get to kind of get a good feel of each other. I can understand your sense of humor. And on the receiving end as well, too. If I don't know somebody and they're texting me and you might text something and I don't know that you're joking, or I don't know that's how you play, or I don't know, I'm supposed to catch the joke, then yeah, now there's trouble. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like clear communication, folks. I think clear communication is the name of the game. Hypercommunication can negatively impact relationships by fostering an over-reliance or an asynchronous messaging as a measure of relationship success. Warned sociologist Caitlin Begg, as per Mashable. So Mashable, of course, is another news publication, whatever the case is, rather than meaningful in-person connection. Okay, cool. Texting might build anticipation, but it also builds illusions. Texting might build anticipation, but it also builds illusions. Very true. There's a lot of guessing that comes with texting as well, too. If I'm texting, I don't know if my joke landed. You see what I'm saying? I don't know, whatever the case is. That's why I'm a huge fan of like emojis as well, too. Huge fan of emojis. If I'm texting you, emojis will be used. So that way you understand, like, this is the tone in which I just said what I said. You see what I'm saying? But I get that, man. Again, in the beginning stages, again, to just kind of go back to this article, in the beginning stages, I don't think too much texting should be what we're doing in the beginning. If we just get to know each other, maybe if we know each other, maybe, okay, cool. But if we don't know each other, I met you out and about or whatever the case is, let's get a few solid conversations under our belt first before we start texting. Because things can get misconstrued, this, that, and the other. Am I texting you too much? Am I not texting you at all? Whatever the case is. Now, he's not interested. And now people are so quick to put up a shield, like, up, on to the next one. That's another problem with this generation. We're so quick to go on to the next one. Up, on to the next one. Up, he took too long to text me back. I'm gone. I'm not interested anymore. And then you wonder why people are lonely. And then you wonder why there's piss in the dating pool, man. We need to get back to the solid etiquette, man. Let's get back to the solid etiquette of male and female dynamics, folks. That's what we should be doing. But it's this younger generation. Again, our folks didn't have to worry about that. Our parents, man, that's why I feel like the older generation, the boomers, they had it good. The boomers didn't have Instagram. There was no slide to the left, slide to the right, swipe left, swipe right culture. There was no DM culture. It's like, hey, I saw you from school and we locked in. Or I saw you from the neighborhood. I didn't, it's just like social media. There was no explore page. There was no Tinder. There was none of that. So the boomers had it good. Our generation, it's going to be more difficult because, again, there's the illusion, right? Going back to what the article said as well, too. There's the illusion that we have options. You get on social media, whether it's your Instagram or your TikTok, whatever the case is, you get on that explore page and you're under the impression that you have options. Man, I got hella options. Look at all these girls. These people may not even know you, may not even be in the same city, state, whatever the case is, but since we have so much access to see people from all around the world, we're disillusioned in thinking that we have options, that these are all viable options. In reality, you don't have that many options. Let's keep it real. So I don't know, very interesting article that dropped out of me. I got that over from New York Post, of course. I saw that on Twitter. Ultimately, folks, in the beginning stages, what I would say, my advice would be, get to know somebody. If you're interested in somebody, it shouldn't be a bad thing to show interest. Okay, yeah, you don't want to be thirsty. I know we have these titles. Oh, he's thirsty. Oh, he's pressed. Yeah, put some space. We're all adults here. So I'm not expecting, whatever the case is, this, that, but clear communication. Set some time. Yo, when can I call you? When can I reach out? Yo, let's get on a call, 7 o'clock, whatever the case. Even got to set appointments, man, do it. As opposed to guessing whatever the case is. Oh, I don't want to text this, that, and the other. And as you guys continue to build, right? Then oh, no, I'm going to text this person. I'm going to double text because you've built that rapport. Right? There's a point where you've built the rapport where you guys kind of know each other's cadence and communication styles, whatever the case is, and then you can text. But in the beginning, I wouldn't be doing too much texting because, again, messages can be misconstrued, communication can falter, and then you're right back to square one when you feel like, oh, this person's not interested because they don't text me enough or whatever the case is. Lo and behold, this person is just super busy or just didn't know that they should be texting you as much as you thought they should be texting you. That's just my take. Of course, you guys are free to leave your options down in the comment section when I re-upload this as well, too. What else we got?